Assalamualaikum and greetings. So we meet again for the second part of this chapter, that is identifying and applying deductive reasoning patterns in arguments. Before this, we have looked at the hypothetical syllogism, and there are about 5 types that fall under that category. Now, the next pattern is categorical syllogism. Now, categorical syllogism may be defined as a 3-line argument in which each statement begins with the word all, some, or no. Not necessarily that we have to have all of these 3. It can be either or it can be 2 out of 3. Here are 2 examples that I can give to you. The first example is all oaks are tree, all trees are plants, so all oaks are plants. Example number 2, some APB students are good looking, all good looking students are in LG 243 to AI, therefore some APB students are in LG 243 to AI. The third common pattern is argument by elimination. Now, an argument by elimination seeks to logically rule out various possibilities until only a single possibility remains. Now, let us look at the example so that you will understand better. Premise number 1, either Joe walked to the library or he drove. Premise number 2, but Joe did not drive to the library. So the conclusion is, therefore, Joe walked to the library. Because you are only left with one possibility, therefore you rule out the first possibility, that is Joe walked to the second possibility, that is he drove to the library. But because it was ruled out based on the second premise, then the only possibility for Joe to go to the library is the first one, and that is he walked to the library. Example number 2 will be a little bit much clearer. Now, premise number 1, either Dutch committed the murder, or Jack committed the murder, or Celia committed the murder. Now, you have 3 suspects, but you need to rule out 2 of them, or any of them that are not suspects, so that you can find the real killer. Premise number 2 states that if Dutch or Jack committed the murder, then the weapon was a rope. Premise number 3, it turns out the weapon was not a rope. So you have ruled out Dutch and Jack because they will only use rope. Therefore, you're only left with Celia. So premise number 4 states that Jack or Dutch did not commit the murder. So the conclusion is, since you're left only with Celia, therefore Celia committed the murder. So this is what is meant by argument by elimination. You eliminate, or you rule out, or you discard possibilities that are not certain, or possibilities that are false. You only stick with the possibility that is true. Next is argument based on mathematics. Now, in an argument based on mathematics, the conclusion is claimed to depend largely or entirely on some mathematical calculation or measurement. So in a very simpler way of saying this, if you have an argument that contains mathematical calculation or measurement, therefore it is considered as deductive reasoning. The common pattern is argument based on mathematics. Let us look at the example. 8 is greater than 4, 4 is greater than 2, therefore 8 is greater than 2. So it involves number. Or measurement, like light travels at a rate of 186,000 miles per second. The sun is more than 93 million miles distant from the earth. So you do the calculation, therefore it takes more than 8 minutes for the sunlight to reach the earth. And of course, the last common pattern is argument from definition. Now, in an argument from definition, the conclusion is presented as being true by definition. That is, as following simply by definition from some keyword or phrase used in the argument. Now, let us look at the example. Premise number 1, Janelle is a cardiologist. So the conclusion, therefore, Janelle is a doctor. So cardiologist is actually a doctor. So you do understand the definition of a cardiologist. Therefore, you can derive a certain conclusion. Example number 2. Premise number 1, Betha is an aunt. Conclusion, it follows that she is a woman.